The Middle East is currently a cauldron of conflict, with Al Jazeera reporting a dire situation where Palestinians are bearing the brunt of Israeli attacks. This crisis is not just a flash in the pan but the continuation of a long-standing discord, one that has sown seeds of suffering and despair. The Israeli strikes have made a devastating mark, obliterating homes and hopes, and causing severe physical injuries to the Palestinian population. The figures are staggering, with over 52,000 Palestinians wounded and 19,000 killed since the 7th of October. Each day brings with it fresh horror, bruises and blood as the number of wounded Palestinians continues to rise. In this escalating crisis, the world's attention is riveted on the UN Security Council, which is gearing up for a crucial vote. A new truce resolution is on the table, a glimmer of hope for the war-torn region. This potential agreement represents a chance for peace that has long eluded the Middle East. But it is not a certainty. The world watches with bated breath as the UN Council deliberates on the ceasefire, a decision that can either quell the violence or fan the flames of conflict. But amidst the political maneuverings and discussions, the Palestinian plight continues unabated. They are living under a constant threat, one that looms like a specter overhead. Every day they wake to the unsettling sound of drones echoing in the distance, a chilling reminder of their precarious existence. The skies that once heralded the dawn now portend danger as the drone strikes make each moment a gamble with death. It's a harsh reality where hope and fear constantly wrestle, and where survival is a question, not a guarantee. Diving deeper into The Guardian's coverage, U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin has underlined the importance of Israel's right to defend itself against the threats posed by Hamas. Austin's viewpoint is unequivocal. American support for Israel's security remains steadfast and unshakable, even amidst voiced concerns over the impact of conflict on civilian lives. The United States, as a key ally, is unwavering in its backing of Israel, and is actively advocating for a robust course of action to resolve the ongoing conflict. The proposed pathway forward is one of sustainability and peace, where all civilians are protected. The U.S. is championing a long-lasting ceasefire, a strategic plan that could bring an end to the escalating hostilities and safeguard the lives of innocent bystanders caught in the crosshairs of the conflict. In line with this, discussions have been carried out with Israeli officials about a shift towards more targeted operations. The intention here is to focus the military actions on Hamas leaders, while at the same time ensuring the safety and security of Palestinian civilians. These talks mark a significant step towards establishing a strategy that minimizes casualties and ensures a more focused approach towards neutralizing threats. Despite the ongoing conflict and the complexities involved, there are signs of optimism, glimmers of hope for a potential ceasefire and the safe return of hostages. The situation is complex and fraught with difficulties, but the prospect of peace and resolution remains a driving force in these discussions and initiatives. Delving deeper into the BBC's coverage, the network sheds light on a monumental find by the Israeli army, the largest Hamas tunnel in Gaza. This grand tunnel, with dimensions large enough to accommodate a vehicle and an intricate network of branches spreading over a vast distance of 4 kilometers, is said to be the brainchild of Mohammed Yahya, the brother of the high-ranking Hamas commander, Yahya Sinwar. On a different but equally pressing issue, the Al-Shifa hospital in Gaza is in a state of emergency. The hospital, which is the largest medical facility in the Strip, is grappling with an unprecedented influx of patients, outstripping the resources available. Medical staff, their spirits crushed, are facing a horrifying shortage of essential supplies such as medications, personal protective equipment, and even basic amenities such as clean water. Switching scenes to the densely populated residential areas of Gaza, families are in a dire predicament. As narrated by Liberal Democrat MP Layla Moran, these families are living through their worst nightmares, caught in the crossfire with the menacing presence of snipers, and facing the grim reality of a severe shortage of food and water. The calls for a ceasefire by international figures such as David Cameron, Annalena Baerbock, and France's foreign minister resonate more than ever, amid the mounting death toll and growing questions about the discipline and rules of engagement of the Israeli forces. In addition to these dire circumstances, the conflict has disrupted telecom services and halted shipping operations in the Red Sea. The war continues to cast its long, dark shadow, its repercussions felt from the sprawling tunnels of Gaza to the bustling shipping lanes of the Red Sea. Finally, we bring you a detailed account of the tragic event that unfolded inside a church in Gaza. a horrifying chronicle that CNN managed to shed light on. An Israeli military sniper, in an act that sent shockwaves worldwide, targeted and shot 2 women. The reverberations of this calamitous incident echoed across the pond, prompting the United States to express their anxiety. They beseeched Israel to consider the implementation of deconfliction channels, a move they believe could drastically diminish the chances of miscalculations and misunderstandings in the heat of battle. This regrettable incident didn't escape the notice of Pope Francis. Deeply affected and saddened by such acts of violence, he strongly condemned the intentional targeting of unarmed civilians, which is a stark violation of the sanctity of human life. In response to this tragic event, there may well be a significant shift in the Israeli Defense Forces rules of engagement. Speculations are rife that this incident might trigger an urgent reassessment of their current strategies, possibly leading to necessary adjustments aimed at preventing similar occurrences in the future. It's a dark saga that started in a church in Gaza, and its far-reaching implications are yet to be fully understood. From the direct loss of life to the potential changes in the battlefield engagements of one of the most potent military forces in the world.